Protests have erupted across the UK after that country's Supreme Court last week ruled that a woman is defined by her biology, by her biological sex. Meanwhile, the women's rights campaigners who took up the fight have been receiving vile death threats. Here's the latest from Sky News UK.
You're a group of disgusting murderers and deserve death. God will rip you from your family one day and nobody will mourn you. Your inhumanity makes me vomit. You stupid women should feel deeply ashamed for being so stupid. The fight to protect sex-based rights led supporters of the trans community to march outside the heart of democracy.
Trans rights are human rights!
That was the message people here wanted to get across.
Trans rights are human rights!
7 statues nearby were covered in pro-trans graffiti, including suffragist Millicent Fawcett. And a small number of these were seen in the crowd, a quite literal sign directed at people who agree with For Women Scotland. The Met says it's investigating signs at the protest, so far none deemed to have broken the law.
Let's cross to News Corp's European correspondent, Sky News contributor Sophie Elsworth in London. Sophie, this is extraordinary. I think around the world, most people would have seen this legal decision, this Supreme Court ruling, as a reassertion of common sense and the defence of the rights of women and girls. Yet these protests and this the violent threats is just shocking. How widespread has it been? Tell us about it.
Well, Chris, I was down here at Parliament Square, where I'm located now, on Saturday when the protests were going on. There were thousands of people here, and just behind me here, Chris, you can see in the statue here of former South African Leader Smuts, it's totally damaged. They've had to put plastic around it, cover it up. There's messaging and graffitiing on there, the trans rights, pro-trans rights messages written all over these statues. All the statues around here, many of them were damaged. So we've got security down here today, and many people looking at these statues, concerned by what they're seeing, Chris. But then we also had the violent threats against the For Women of Scotland activist group, who basically fought for these women's rights in court and successfully won. So there are a lot of angry people down here on the weekend, Chris. And also alongside me, there were fences put along the side of me with cable ties. The activists broke through there and damaged some of the lawn that they've laid here. So real concerns here, and now police are asking for people to come forward with information about how this graffiti happened and who is responsible.
Yeah, it's just very hard to get your head around the protesters here and so-called feminists who support them, because no one's trying to discriminate against trans people. It's about protecting the rights of women and girls in particular. And I suppose to the extent that there are people arcing up about this, these are biological men who are protesting that they're not allowed to claim to be women. I mean, I just think it's a fringe group here that nobody's trying to isolate, but it's generating so much hatred. And this is obviously not confined to the UK. It's the epicentre now because of this decision, but it's a worldwide movement, including here in Australia.
Well, Chris, it was really interesting when I was here on the weekend, because I tried to interview many of the protesters to find out, why are they here and what are they protesting against? Many of them wouldn't talk to me, wouldn't go on camera, wouldn't explain why they're here. And I really wondered if many knew what they were actually fighting for here. Some of their messages weren't direct to the point to know what are they fighting against here, because the court ruling was pretty clear that a biological woman is deemed from their biology when they were born. But today, in the front here, Chris, I've got one of the front pages of the Daily Express here saying disgraceful court heroes targets for vile abuse. I mean, the front pages here every day at the moment, it's all about the gender debate. And there's many Labor MPs quite annoyed with this decision. There was leaked WhatsApp group that revealed some of them are plotting what to do next because they're deeply unhappy with the decision. And the Labor government has been largely very quiet since this decision was handed down, because it's so divisive within their party and within the community.
It is just so extraordinary when you think of how hard many people have had to fight right around the world for equality for women, and how they need to still fight around the country for the rights of women. You're saying basically biological men should also be able to usurp those rights. It seems bad and insane, but that's the world we live in today. Just